And we're back, everybody. Welcome back to Words with Wayman. I'm your host, as always, Matt Wayman. Goodness gracious, guys. Follow us online at Words with Wayman on Twitter, Words with Wayman on Facebook. Thank you for joining us. We're just going to jump right in. We always do. I don't have anything to say out the gate. We're just going to hop right in. Special part 2. Local Denver comedian, showrunner, podcaster, sweet daddy, my friend, Jeff Albright, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you for coming back out. Part 2.
Yeah,
they go by fast. A little quick 15 minutes.
I like it. I'm taking notes.
Taking notes when we left off. We actually had just we had talked about your upbringing, your youth, you just moved to Denver. You said, I'm done. You moved out to Denver, crashed on somebody's floor.
Yeah.
And you've been out here ever since.
Yeah, I've been out here 15 years now.
15 years in the Mile High City.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
We've had a blast up here. I've been up here for a couple of years and really, really love the city and the people.
My wife and I did go back for 7 months to help my parents with a business, and 7 months was all we could do. I mean,
I'm sure. That's a lot, too.
We thought, we're like, man, this is it. We're going to make this is going to be the big investment. We're going to start this business and make this big change and be responsible. And after 7 months, we both missed it so bad. And we came back, both got our old jobs back and moved back into the same apartment building that we were in.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, like it never happened.
Yeah, you worked down at local record shop Twisted Shout.
Yeah, I've been there a long time.
Gotten some other comics hired there because you're a nice guy.
Yeah, got Corey Healy and Mr. Matt Kobos.
We both
worked
out
there. Yeah.
Which is pretty funny. You got to get
fun.
the boys jobs. They need it.
They need especially Kobos. He's thin. You got to keep him thin.
He's tiny. He needs that jacket money because it gets cold out there.
Multiple layers.
So you met your wife up here?
Yeah, I met my wife. We just had our 7-year wedding anniversary last week.
Lovely woman.
Yeah, she is the best. Yeah, we met 9 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been together 9 years, married for 7. She's a Denver native.
Yeah, okay.
We actually live across the street from the hospital she was born in.
Crazy.
So, she really has not left.
That's insane.
Yeah.
No, she's awesome. I've had the pleasure of hanging out with her a couple times. That's nuts to be able to live in a place where you can see where you're born all the time.
Yeah, it's right across the street.
Well, you know what you like? It's a cool city.
Well, they're tearing it down now. It's the old Colorado.
Yeah. Putting
Colorado
a really
Boulevard
nice
there.
one up.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, she's wonderful. She's very supportive of me doing comedy, and I think that's the number one thing. You know?
Which you've been doing for how long?
It'll be 3 years in February.
3 years. Yeah, I guess I've been up here almost like 2.5 or something. So right, because I knew you pretty shortly after I moved to town.
Yeah.
So you started doing some stuff.
I think I had a mic going probably, right?
Yeah.
I started a mic, I think, 2-3 months after I started comedy.
I think it's a good way to just jump in all the way. I mean, to learn how to host early because hosting is a definite skill set.
Yeah. And I've been in the music industry part of this town for, like I said, years at Twist and Shout. Before that, I ran the Angelo CDs in Aurora.
Okay.
So I've been in the actual... over 10 years of record store business
and record
here.
stores usually have shows and stuff that they do there.
Yeah,
and
you know
stuff
all
like
the
that.
venues, you know the door people, you know the bartenders, and so I was sitting at the Lost Lake watching Spells. We were watching Ben Roy's band, and I said to my buddy who's bartending, "You got an open mic here?" And he said, "No." We walked in the small little closet, opened the calendar, and he said, "Let's do this." And that was the most intimidating to this day thing I've done in comedy. Was that that first night. I butchered Timmy Lasley's name so bad because I was so intimidated by her. To me, she was, she still is. She's unbelievably funny, super funny. Talented.
Yeah.
But I didn't know, I just knew these names and I was like, oh, this person is huge. You know what I mean? But she was still she was 2 years in maybe at that time. So that was 3 years ago.
Definitely.
But to me, these people were the cream of the crop and they were coming in to my mic and no one knew who I was.
You see them all over town crushing and doing really well.
Yeah.
And running their own shows and stuff.
Yeah, you did. And it was intimidating, man. And so I felt bad. I remember that day I messed her name up, and I still that one still haunts me. But yeah, that was the probably the scariest night I've had in comedy.
You should always have that regret because then you'll never mess anybody's name up.
No, I'm really good about it. Or I just remember that I'm going to say it bad.
You do like 40 mics for 40 comics on your Monday mic.
Yeah, I think this week we had about 32, 35. Yeah, and that's with me saying 25. You know, and trying to kind of hold it back.
It's definitely a super. It's a good room. I think it was. Lost Lake got a little aggressive towards the end there.
Yeah, it got a little weird, and then we went to the Voodoo, which was great.
I heard that was the epitome. That was the best. I only got a chance to I think I got up there like once.
There were some great nights there. It was the thing about the Voodoo, man. It was pure crowd some nights.
Yeah, which is insane because it's like, why isn't this working when it's next door at Scruffy Murphy's? Or, you know what I mean? Because there were these other shows down there.
Yeah, it was pure crowd. And I remember there were some nights where the comics would have to fill the entire back hallway in the green room because there were nowhere for them to sit. Which that's all you want in an open mic.
That is all you want in an open mic. It's like a showcase.
Yeah, but then as that happens, then you start to see what kind of show you're producing, and you want to. I'm not going to get into the politics of it, but you want to kind of be compensated correctly.
Oh, absolutely. There's definitely a thing when you. A lot of newer comics will take shows for less money or no money because they want the experience. And then when they show that they can build a show properly and do it right, there should be.
Yeah.
It's like you're building something up. So, yeah, but I mean.
It was a great space, and I recently got to do your show.
Yeah, that was awesome.
2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was my first time back.
Down.
Yeah, it was.
You did awesome, and it was a hot room. It was like
so
one of the
it was good
nights.
to go back, I should say.
You
can always go back.
And it's one of those things, man, that I've been involved with that place for a couple of years. It's changed so much even since I've been there, you know, and it is. It's a crazy. I love that place. Everybody check it out, Voodoo Comedy Playhouse. Yeah, it was nice to have you back out. A good little reunion to come back. You tried to light it on fire a couple times, but I put those flames out.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I brought a can of gasoline.
I'm a little emotional.
I'm gonna burn it down on stage.
I've learned to check that.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I think we all go through that as well too. I mean, not letting it because I mean, there's stuff that you got it. There's comedy's comedy and everybody thinks it's real fun, but there's a business side to it as well.
Definitely, yeah, there has to be.
And you don't want to be like a dick.
It's disrespectful.
Like comics.
The number one thing I learned is disrespectful to the other comedians. For that's the number one thing is if you're doing something for free, you're bringing everyone's value down
for sure
of what they do. And and I'm not. There's people that work extremely way harder than I ever will and do in this. And it's just I can't be someone who's trying to facilitate comedy and shine a light on it and then also bring the value of it down. That's not how it works.
You do some really good stuff that you run 5280comedy.com, which is just a thing you do.
Yeah, I enjoy doing that. I saw it was kind of attention wasn't really given to it because that's something like all the people before me who have done it, we do it for free. You do it out of love and you want to just kind of
build a scene,
shine the light. Yeah, build a scene. But I still enjoy it. I still keep that thing going, not as much as I should because as you get your own more podcasts going and more shows and the open mic every week, it's hard to kind of keep up. Yeah. And the scene here is changing. It's very fluid.
Let's talk. Yeah, it's a great scene, super collaborative, which leads us right into the podcast talk.
Yeah,
how did you get into that?
Always wanted to do one. I love doing these. I used to I got to sit in into quite a few of the tail end of the old comedy buffet, Michael Powell's.
Oh yeah, I definitely had a blast on doing two of those. I loved
doing that. And
like, why'd you stop it? I tried to get it going again.
I still do. I'm doing a show with them Sunday morning, and I still do. And but I've always wanted to do one, but I wanted it to be different. And one of my biggest passions was two of my biggest passions are basketball and kind of nerd culture, comic book culture. And then I decided, well, why do a comedy podcast when I can do a comedy podcast about basketball?
Yeah, and there's enough just straight comedy. And like when we're out, we talk enough comedy anyway. So it's like it's just a lot at some points,
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say we don't even do a lot of let's say comedy on the show. It's just those are the people I want to talk basketball with. And I think it's a good way
and
also.
If jokes come up naturally, then it's fine,
they definitely do. It's a fun listen. But we record that every week at El Chorrito. And then we do it's called the second one was Broadcast Geeks. Yeah. And we just started that one, and that's me,
fresh one.
Matt Oren, Nate Balding, and then Mitch Jones is going to be on there, Chris Baker. A lot of people are going to be sitting. Or we got a huge line getting ready for that one.
Well,
of people want to sit in.
You just want that people that want to do it, but also have the knowledge to do it.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to your DVR has to be watched.
Absolutely.
That's the big thing.
You got to get the name out there.
Believe me, that's killing me because I'm every night I'm doing quote unquote research for the podcast, both. So I'm just sitting home basically watching basketball and then watching superhero shows when the basketball games are over.
This is fantastic.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, I'm working here.
I'm working right now. This is my life. Respect me.
But it's fun. It's taken my focus off writing my jokes and focusing on my stand-up, but I still have some really fun shows coming up, so I'm not going to,
what do you mean, just all the time that you have to put in the podcast?
I think so, just thinking about it and making sure that I'm doing it properly and getting the right equipment and using the right, post providers and all the things, getting it to iTunes and then sharing it and making sure everybody's on it, knows how to share it.
Posting it and sharing all that stuff is so much.
And then just thinking about it, because, the basketball one sneaks up on me because it's weekly, so it's just...
Yeah, the weekly ones are crazy, too.
We got to talk about this right away again. But it's fun. I enjoy doing them, and then before you know it, it's like, it's Monday night, got to go do the open mic.
That's the thing, it becomes like another, almost like work-related thing,
Yeah,
it's
it definitely is.
Because we definitely, for this one, this one's a little bit more sporadic, but, I mean, I've missed 1 week since I started doing it, so it's like when you really... have to make sure that you get something done, and scheduling people, is an issue a lot too.
Yeah, and mine is the basketball one is very kind of, it's based on the news that week. So it's not like I can knock 2 or 3 out in a row, because we kind of like talk about the games that you just watched. The week that was is kind of what we talk about.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I get lucky with that, where I can post them around anytime. Yeah. I can record a couple and just kind of
have them on the back burner.
Have them on the back burner a little bit. Yeah, backlog episodes. Especially me and Ben Adams do that Futures Wild podcast, and it's just really
it's a great
nice
one
to do that one. And that one's just.
And Ben has been on. Enough. Ben's been on the comedy one. Nicole. Nice. Nicole is. She loves it. She's one of the first people who.
She's the coolest.
On it. Yeah, she's a basketball nut.
Nicole McCormick, super. They're about to have a churn together.
His first.
Yeah, boy, he was over here yesterday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and he is. It's one of those things. He's ready. I'm excited for him.
Yeah, I'm sure he's nervous.
He's definitely nervous, super nervous, but he's super excited. It's cool to see.
Man, that'll. If I'm 41 and I've not had any yet.
Say, you can't do it. You'll lose half your material.
I will lose 3/4 of my material. But I'm sure it's going to give me all new, because I've already, Star Wars has made me be this whole thing where I've been thinking about how much I want to have a kid now, because to enjoy this new Star Wars phenomenon that's happening again, and how much my dad enjoyed it with me when I was a kid. And I'm like, man, I could see. I want a kid for the toys, I guess is what I'm saying.
You get new toys and you get to play with them. And
right.
Not keep them in their package. That's funny. But yeah, you're pretty much. Do you think you will ever, or are you just against it?
It's not for lack of trying, man. It's just one of those things. If it happens, it happens. My wife is 7 years younger than me, so that helps.
Yeah, that helps.
That helps.
That's awesome. You got so you got the podcast going. You got the mic going.
Yeah.
Working all the time. You got the dogs.
Got 3 dogs. It's a handful. Yep.
You got a busy life.
Yeah, man. It feels like, it's the busiest I've ever been. It's like I wish I was busy when I was young.
Right.
Said it when I was.
That's what I'm trying to like knock all this out by the time I'm 35 or something.
Oh, I didn't start till I was 39. So yeah. But no, it's fun, man. I love every minute of it.
You definitely. I mean, what I've always appreciated, you always stay in a good mood. Because we are just having fun. I feel like a lot of people let some of this tough stuff in this scene, or even just doing comedy, get them down, but it's always like it
did do that to me that first year and a half, 2 years. I kind of but then I think you got to kind of just do some personal reflection and really look at what are you trying to get out of this, what do you want to put into it, and once you kind of realize that, and I'm not saying set a limit on yourself, but just be kind of conscious of your emotions, and your reactions to not getting things or getting things, the highs and the lows.
There's a lot of that, and it's a crazy thing too, because of the it's not who necessarily puts the time in, or it's like it's not like you can't judge funniness based on like how long you've been doing it necessarily as much. So, which is good though too, because you can have people do really, really well that haven't been doing it that long, and you can also have people that have been doing this for a super long time never get funny.
Never, so. Yeah. And it's sad to watch that. I watch it week. You've hosted many mics. When you watch it week to week, it's just
sad.
Like, man, a lot of mirrors are needed. But
a lot of times you try to just be as nice as possible, because for a lot of these people it's like therapy. You know what I mean? It really is.
It truly is.
This might not be.
It truly is.
They'll be necessarily ever be able to make a living off of, but if they enjoy it, then how's that not to say that that's just as good as what we're doing if we're trying to even make a living off of it?
Yeah, and that's something I keep referring back to it, but Dylan touched on that. You get caught in that lifestyle, but it's really just some people use it for the camaraderie, and the acceptance. Just
of course.
If you were maybe an outcast in high school, or just never, and this is a kind of a way you can fit in with a group of people.
Hang out with a bunch of misfits.
Yeah, just hang out with some people, have a couple beers, and if it makes you feel better about life and yourself. And
that's why we've always run mics, because it's just one of those things. It's it helps people that some people do, I believe, need it. I need to do this. I feel like it's one of those things. Now that you've done it for a couple of years, you're like, I couldn't see myself not doing that.
Right.
In whatever capacity it would be.
Yeah, that's the thing. I talk. I'll say to my wife in private, I don't want to do the mic anymore, and she's like, yes, you do.
Yeah,
you do, and I do. Even up to that minute where before I started, I'm like, oh God, here we go. And as soon as I bring up 1-2 people, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and then after it's over, like, I'm really glad I did that.
Yeah, I'm really glad I did it.
I'm glad
I had
it's
a great
over
night
with
everybody, and yeah.
Yeah, and it's fun. And I think that's like what your mics that you've always put on have just been significantly more fun than a lot of other shows that I go to.
Yeah,
like, there's just a good vibe. There's usually audience members there that aren't comics, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's the fun
And I still
part.
don't know how you do that. That's the magic trick.
Yeah, I think I was pretty good at promoting it, I think, and I've gotten a little lazy with it, so I got to get back on my grind on the Goosetown one.
Yeah,
and get some more people.
It's hard,
for it.
It's definitely one of those things. It's like, where do you choose to put your time? Do you want to put them into the podcast? Do you want to put them all into this? And then it's
when you have the comics showing up, you feel like the thing is just kind of running itself every week.
Absolutely,
you need butts in the seats.
You definitely do. That's something that it's crucial for comedy, even though you don't think it is. I mean, comics will laugh and stuff like that, but you're not going to get an honest response.
No, you're not going to.
Something they've heard a bunch of times or something that they just.
That's the funny part too. Is I almost never tell jokes at my own mic anymore, between comics or something. But I never do material off the top anymore. And I've had some people say to me, "Why you have to, or why don't you?" But when there's so many people, to me, it's not. I don't want it to be about me at all. Yeah. I really don't. I hate it even sometimes when the comedian's like, "Give it up for Jeff,"
or
once
like
or twice during the show. But
sometimes
it's just like, this isn't about me. You guys, this is about you guys. Let's just do the show. You know what I mean? That's why I really. It's so weird. I just can't do material at it.
That's hilarious.
In between, like I said, a quip. Something like that.
Like
a little poke at somebody, but I'm not going to run new stuff.
That's actually a pretty good call, because I think I've definitely made a mistake of doing material sometimes when it's like 6 comics. Like, why should I even do jokes? Or when it's 60, you still don't want to.
It throws me too when I have a guest host it and then they do time off the top. And I'm sitting there looking at my watch like,
let's hurry up.
It's 8:10 now. What are you doing?
Go.
You know what I mean? Yeah, there's a lot of people here. So
yeah, that's funny. Well, I mean, man, that's it. These things fly.
No, that was fun.
Right by. Give them all your internet stuff so everybody out there on the web can follow you.
Yeah, just Jeff M. Albright on Facebook, at Jeff M. Albright on Twitter. I'm on all the other stuff, but those are the big two. At Comedy B-Ball, and then at Broadcast Geeks.
Yeah, check all the
hit those up, and
out.
Then you can find the podcast from there on Twitter. But
yeah, everybody. Well, you can find us on the Twitter at Words with Wayman, on Facebook Words with Wayman. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you for being here, Jeff.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. It was a good time. I love it.
Guys.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem, everybody. Thanks one more time, and we will see you all soon.